The episode starts with Callie talking to Arty over the phone. Callie tells Arty that her husband is madly in love with her and wants to get rid of her. Callie comments on Arty, saying that she thinks Callie will leave Ved, but assures Arty that she is mistaken. Callie says that as long as Ved is with her, she will stop Anjali and herself. Arty says she never expected Callie to be this dirty. Callie asks Arty if she loves Ved. Arty admits that she loves Ved very much and then ends the call. Arty calls nurse Sunita and tells her how Anjali stood on her feet and took Amaan's name at the Rajput mansion during Yuvraj's wedding with Mahek. Arty asks Sunita if there is a chance Anjali can recover completely and if they should take her to the doctor. Sunita agrees. Arty checks and finds that Anjali isn't in her wheelchair. Anjali calls Padma and asks where Anjali is. Padma says Anjali should be here, but she doesn't know where she went. Sadhika and Abhay bring Anjali to Ragav and the rest of the Rajput family, who have come to Anjali's neighborhood. Ragav provokes Anjali to see if she is pretending to be paralyzed or truly paralyzed. Ragav asks if she will fight against him in court. He shows Anjali a law book and says he hasn't forgotten how she once defeated him in court. Ragav asks Sadhika and Abhay to drop Anjali. They leave her and she falls to the floor. Sadhika shows Anjali some jewelry and reminds her that the necklace was gifted to her on the day of her pre-engagement ceremony. Ragav then asks Abhay and Sadhika to pick her up. Ragav tells Anjali that he has taken Arty's signatures, because of which the Rajput, Thakur, and Rajvamshi families will be set free. In return, Arty only asked for Ved, but she will not even get him. Sadhika, frustrated by Anjali's silence, tries to slap her, but Arty catches her hand. Arty asks what she is doing and says that Anjali is ill. Sadhika insists that Anjali is acting and claims they saw her standing. Arty holds Anjali and asks the Rajput family to leave. She calls the Chal people for support, forcing the Rajput family to retreat. Arty tells them she is keeping a Nurjal wrath for Anjali's recovery and vows Anjali will stand on her feet and fight for justice. Ragav warns Arty that Anjali will never reach the court, as he won't let it happen. Abhay suggests leaving, but the colony people block them. Arty says to let them go as Ragav is still her grandfather. They leave. Arty encourages Anjali to let the miracle happen, saying the Rajput family's sins are full and they deserve punishment, so she should recover from this vegetative state. Mahek calls Arty and pleads with her to tell the truth, asking if her mother is really ill. Arty replies that she will not answer and that Ma Durga will answer instead. Mahek cuts the call. Yuvraj asks Mahek what Arty said. Mahek replies that Arty said Ma Durga will answer it. Yuvraj suspects Anjali might be fine and recalls that he was responsible for the accident 21 years ago. He decides to kill Anjali before she exposes him. The episode starts with Chandraban calling out for Rithi, asking where she is. Rithi comes to him and questions why he is shouting. Chandraban says they need to go to the village to introduce their Bahu to everyone. After that, they can return to Delhi and host a grand party as it's his son's wedding. Rithi tells him that the rituals here, such as Suhagrat, the ring-finding game, and Pali Rasoy, are yet to be completed. She suggests they can go to the village once these are done. They call Mahek, and when she arrives, Rithi takes her away while explaining the rituals. Ved approaches Chandrakant and says that Chandrakant and his uncle have been business partners for years, but one of their business vehicles caused Amaan's death and left Anjali paralyzed. Chandrakant tells him to ask his uncle instead. Ved replies that he is searching for the driver responsible. Yuvraj arrives and questions why Ved is digging into the matter. Ved explains that he wants to gift Arty the truth by finding the person behind the accident. Yuvraj asks why it's necessary. Ved says everyone took Arty's signatures, but Callie didn't leave his life according to the plan, so he realized it was a trap. He is now determined to find the driver who killed Amaan and left Anjali in a vegetative state for the last 21 years. Yuvraj calls Callie and complains that he is newly married, but Ved has come and created a scene, disturbing the post-wedding rituals. Callie asks him to hand the phone to Ved. Callie warns Ved to stop investigating Amaan's death, or he will land in trouble if he digs into the past. Ved replies that he is not afraid. He reminds Callie that Ragav took more than half of the signed papers, and according to their deal, Callie was supposed to leave his life so that Arty could stay with him. Since that didn't happen, he demands either Arty's presence in his life or the name of the killer responsible for Amaan's death. He cuts the call and tells Chandrakant that he will not leave the matter until he uncovers the truth. Yuvraj tries to threaten him, but Ved asserts that he fears no one and Arty means everything to him. He vows he can do anything for her and leaves. Rithi asks Yuvraj why hasn't he come and asks Yuvraj if anyone came home. Yuvraj says no one. Yuvraj later leaves from there. Yuvraj comes to Rithi. Yuvraj gets a phone call from ACP Pankaj. Pankaj says to Yuvraj that he should remember him as he was investigating Amaan's murder, but he was taken off the case due to his superior's order. Yuvraj says to Pankaj that he will talk to him later as today is his first night. Pankaj says to Yuvraj that the first night ritual isn't going to happen as he is already married. Yuvraj asks Pankaj what is he saying. Pankaj says his wife has filed a police complaint. Chandraman comes and asks Yuvraj what happened. Yuvraj says to Chandraman that someone has filed a police complaint that she is his wife. Chandraman talks to Pankaj over the phone and asks Pankaj who is the one that is saying she is Yuvraj's wife. Pankaj says it is Padma Thakur and she filed a complaint with her lawyer. Chandraman asks Pankaj who is the lawyer. Pankaj says the lawyer is someone who can send shivers down their spine. Pankaj later warns to send Mahek to their home and says if any ritual happens then he will put the whole Thakur family behind bars. The Thakur family comes to Ragav and tells him about Pankaj saying that someone has filed a police complaint that Yuvraj is already married to someone else. Ragav asks Chandraman to call Pankaj. Chandraman calls Pankaj and gives the phone to Ragav. Ragav asks Pankaj who is the one that is saying that she is married to Yuvraj. Pankaj says it is Padma. Ragav asks Pankaj who is the lawyer. Pankaj says he is not a postman to tell them the lawyer address and asks Ragav to bring Mahek home and make sure no ritual happens and comments on it. The episode starts with the Bay asking Gaurav how he can say something like that. Ragav reminds Gaurav that Mahek has a relationship with him and asks him to keep quiet. Gaurav tells Ragav that he also has a relationship with Anjali, whom they threw out of the house for 21 years, and when she was brought back, they humiliated her. Gaurav says a case should be filed against them for what they did. Gaurav also comments on Chandraman. Chandraman reminds Gaurav that they are the Jamindars of Sabanzile. Gaurav replies that he is Gaurav Singh Rajput. So, what? Vaibhav asks them to stop arguing. The Rajput family asks Rithi where Mahek is. Rithi says Mahek has gone out in her wedding attire. Mahek reaches the Awasti house and sees Anjali in a wheelchair. Mahek tells Anjali that she married Yuvraj and today is her first night, but at that moment, Yuvraj received a phone call saying their marriage is not valid as he was already married. Mahek asks Anjali if she knows who filed the police complaint. She says it was Padma, the maid, and mocks her. Hearing this, Padma claps and says it looks like Raghav's blood runs in Mahek's veins. Mahek is shocked to see Padma dressed as a bride. Padma says she dressed up as a bride because if a first night happens, it should happen with her. Mahek asks Padma what she wants. Padma replies that just like Anjali wants her rights, she too wants hers. Mahek then receives a call from Ragav. Ragav asks her where she is. Mahek tells him Padma is standing before her dressed as a bride, demanding her rights. As Yuvraj's wife, Ragav speaks to Padma and asks why she is doing this after so many years and who her lawyer is. Padma challenges him to find out and cuts the call. Padma orders Mahek to leave. Mahek argues asking what Padma will do if she doesn't, and calls for Yuvraj. Yuvraj arrives and confronts Padma, asking if she is worthy of becoming his wife. He threatens to kill her. Arty warns Yuvraj that 500 people are outside the house and they can do anything to him. Arty then asks Yuvraj to leave. She tells Mahek to go back to the Rajput mansion in a car while Yuvraj leaves separately. Yuvraj tells Mahek to stay there for now and adds that tomorrow Ragav will appear in court. Mahek asks who Padma's lawyer is. Anjali then calls Ragav and taunts him, saying his sins are overflowing and he must come to court again. Ragav asks who she is. Anjali reveals she is Padma's lawyer, mocks him, and hangs up. Chandraman asks Ragav who it was. Ragav replies that a woman called, claiming to be Padma's lawyer. Chandraman then asks Ragav to promise that he will go to court and later give Mahek back to her. Ragav makes a promise to Chandraman. Meanwhile, Mahek recalls her marriage with Yuvraj, Padma's words, and Arty, telling her to stay home until Padma's case against Yuvraj is resolved. Mahek removes her jewelry and changes into simple clothes at her house. She breaks down seeing her marital symbols. Yuvraj's sister asks if she is really leaving. Mahek says yes, explaining she has been getting calls from the police station and must prove in court that she is Yuvraj's wife. Yuvraj's sister reassures her, saying her father will help her win the case and tells her a vehicle is waiting. Outside, Mahek notices the decorated Suhagrat bed and vows that Padma made a mistake by stopping her first night and she won't spare her.